Hello, everyone. Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions remaining bullish in a bull market. We saw momentum slip back down. We saw it was just tucked up here in that early extreme range, and yesterday's move lower moved us back down into this buy zone. We'll take a look at that on SPY chart. Also seeing a breadth indicator, which moved a little bit to the negative side, sliding back to that left just a little bit, but still also in that buy zone. And sentiment sliding just a little bit, but also still up in that upper range. As I've mentioned before, this can stay up here for a long time, 12, 18 months. It can stay up in this extreme range. And we've already kind of seen that really for the last 6-8 months here. We've been towards the upper end of that range, which is fine. It's just a bullish reading, and at some point that's going to flip. At some point that's going to be a contrarian type indicator when everybody is bullish, and that's typically the time to move. But as of right now, not quite yet. We are seeing buy-sell ratio showing some weakness yesterday. That moved us back to 1.19. Still above 1, but relatively flat right here. Anything above 1, you're going to see this green line above the red line. Something like this here is going to have a buy-sell ratio that is greater than 1. Okay, and that's essentially what we want for bullish market bias, and it's relatively flat right here. And we certainly know that because we're at the upper end of this range on S&P 500. A nice pullback, though. We've got attempted support right here at this level. Let me just draw that out so you can see that a little bit more clearly. This support area on S&P 500 right around that 504 range. We'll see if that holds up today. We're now back into this bullish location. As I mentioned yesterday, this uptrend and most healthy uptrends will move inside of this range right here. This slider bar will move up to extreme and back into the buy zone, and up to extreme and back to the buy zone. Okay, and on markets, it's a little bit harder for them to get up into the extreme range like S&P 500 or Dow or NASDAQ, but they do. Stocks certainly do. But in this case, this is now the extreme and then the pullback for dip buyers inside of this zone. We'll see if we get that now. As markets are certainly pretty lofty right here. It's there's still not a lot of participation, but we're holding up at support right now, and we'll see if we get continuation on that. We did see bonds have a decent little pop here yesterday, back up into this buy zone. Still long-term downtrend, which obviously we know that, but having this pattern now, this long uptrend here from October, November, this 3-part counter trend into this 50% buy zone. Now some confirmation on bonds. That might be healthy for interest rates. Remember that as bonds are moving higher, interest rates are moving lower. So on TLT, what we want to see is this right here. We want to see it starting to move this direction, because that means interest rates are going to be going down. And that's where ultimately the market could start believing that the Fed is going to move interest rates sooner than later. That could be part of what's going on here. And again, the TLT, I want to keep focusing on this because of interest rates and the Fed. That really has been, and inflation, the main points of the last few years. We are seeing gold have this nice pop. You're seeing more gold stocks showing up. GLD, keep an eye on that. Also, historically, gold is that flight to safety. So having a certain percentage of GLD holdings is could be warranted for your portfolio at these levels. Let's look at oil quickly here as well. Commodities, we're also seeing silver have a pop higher. It's been really, really choppy and volatile for the last year or so on silver. We get a confirmation follow through on silver. That would be interesting as well. And USO on this 6-month time frame here, pulling into that range, continuing so far in that upper buy zone. A little bit of weakness the last 2 days, but we'll see if that 73 range holds on USO. A couple muscle stocks to consider. One of the things I wanted to point out here also is when you're looking through the muscle stocks group, the muscle stocks tab right here, these are always buy signal stocks already. So sometimes you can get a stock that's in a real strong uptrend that never pulls back to a hold. So a lot of times in the morning, I like to glance through this list to see if there are pullbacks in this group of stocks that are still in uptrends. And this is a good example. APLD had a big confirmation move, massive volume, big gap, and now it's pulled all the way back. So you're getting a retracement inside of this buy zone. Pretty aggressive trade, pretty aggressive stock, really volatile. But these are the kinds of pullbacks that get bought into aggressively. So if you're looking for a way to continue to focus on just these really high ranked 98, 99, 100 ranked stocks and still have pullbacks, but that they're not showing up in this new buy list, then this new buy list here, then this is going to be slightly different. And these are the ones that are really cruising, really high flying, but sometimes they get a little bit out of reach, but they do have pullbacks along the way, and there can be opportunities there as well. GCT, for example, even right here, this pullback to that 236 line, you've got this breakout, you've got this momentum location, and now you've got this retracement. It pulled all the way back to that, and now you've got this bottoming tail bar. There could be some support there in GCT. Again, these are really volatile stocks, but they move, these are the ones that we want to focus on, the ones that are moving 500, 600, 700% over year over year, and catching some of this current momentum. That being said, new buy list for today, let's take a quick look. MRTX, which is in the oil space. Watching for some of those to continue to work as we're seeing oil prices move a little bit higher. GFI also here, mining, that's a gold stock actually. So we're seeing some gold, seeing some oil in this a new buy list today. That'll do it for today's update. If you want to join me each morning in my Discord channel for the Muscle Wheel Portfolio, where we talk about a specific stock trade to take that day, stop losses, how to manage the portfolio, and then managing each of those trades each day, that is what we focus on in the Muscle Trade Portfolio or the Muscle Wheel Portfolio. It's a wheel strategy. You can learn about it more in the description. There's a link there for you to be able to learn more about that. So have a fantastic day today, and we will see you tomorrow.